everyone, my name is Imogen. I'm going into my third year of Geography with German at the London School of Economics, and it has been a very long time since I last filmed a video, but we're back, and I thought what better way to start back on the channel than with a little update Q&A style thing, and also my results reaction. I have got that for you in this video because my results came out in the middle of the summer and I did film it even though I didn't quite know where it was going to fit in the videos. So as usual with these Q&A style videos, I asked for questions from you guys over on my Instagram and I've got those here for you now, so we're just going to run through them. So the first one is, what have you been up to? So I actually finished my exams back in May this year, so I've had a super long summer. I have spent some of it on holiday with friends. I've also been out to a school in Germany. I've gone and worked there. And then I've done a 6-week-long summer school here in the UK before heading back out to Germany to see my old au pair family from when I was on my gap year. I used to work with them and I hadn't seen them since, so that was super nice. And then I came back and I worked with some international students who were starting school here in the UK, and that finished a couple of days ago, and now I have a couple of exciting things coming up in the next couple of weeks, but it is just getting ready for university really. That was a whistle-stop tour of what I've been up to. The next question is, do you plan on moving abroad in the future? I don't plan on moving abroad full-time at the moment. I definitely want to travel after university, but in what form that is going to be, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be traveling from place to place or whether I'm going to try and go out to one place and maybe spend 3 months there. But I certainly don't plan on living in a place for a year, for example. But as I've seen in previous years, things can change. So I don't know where we'll be this time in the year. The next question is, what advice do you have for freshers? Honestly, I think it's just taking everything as it comes. Say yes to everything when you get to university. It's probably going to be quite expensive the first couple of weeks. It's going to be quite overwhelming, but you will find your feet eventually. And you don't want to be that person who's like, no, I don't want to go out. No, I don't want to do anything. And then you get to about week 4 and you're like, oh no, where are all my friends? So yeah, say yes to everything and just go with the flow, I think would be my top tips for freshers. There's a couple about my German. So the next one is, why on earth do you study German? I study German because in my gap year, I went out to Germany and I au paired, which was an incredible experience. And there's more videos all about that on my channel. But when I came to university, I realized I could actually take German as a module. And so I started doing it in first year. And although it's not the same learning it in a classroom in the UK, I have really enjoyed learning it. And I certainly really enjoyed when I've gone out to Germany and I'm able to actually communicate with people. As an English speaker who doesn't speak any other languages, that's a really surreal feeling. And it's really empowering being able to talk to people in a language that isn't your own. The next one is the best event or activity that you've attended or done during your time in London. And I can't necessarily think of one particular event off the top of my head, but I think the one thing that I've really enjoyed last year was being able to go to the West End and being able to get on the day tickets, because you can get super cheap tickets if you're happy to be a bit more flexible. And so that flexibility of university combined with living in London has meant that I've been able to see so many shows, which has been, yeah, amazing. And also going up to the Lido during summer up at Primrose Hill, that was really cool. Maybe this is a whole video idea. I might make a whole video on this, so subscribe if you're interested in that. The next one is, what do you do to prepare for the year of studying ahead? I don't think there's necessarily anything specific you can do for studying. It's just making sure that all the little bits of life admin that kind of you don't have time for during term time, just make sure they're done. I don't do any pre-reading. You can for your courses, but I genuinely don't think it's very useful. For your specific courses, you haven't started learning anything, so there's no point doing this pre-reading because it's not really guided. Oh, the next one is, are you planning on doing a master's? Absolutely not at the moment. That is what I will say. I potentially want to go into teaching or education. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do after uni, which jumps the gun on a couple of the other questions, but potentially going into education, in which case I might need to do a PGCE, which stands for Postgraduate Certificate of Education, which is basically the equivalent of a master's, but specifically in education and for teaching. So I might want to do one of those in the future, but in terms of doing like a subject-based master's, you will not see me there. I think university has been a great 3 years for me, but I just don't love studying necessarily. I think I really enjoy working and I really enjoy being able to see the end product of what I'm learning, and you just don't seem to get that with academia as much, I don't think. So the next question is, how has summer been? And I want to link this one to another question, which is, how are you? In terms of the opportunities and the things I've done this summer, it's been absolutely incredible, and I've done so many things that have been super fun. But in terms of how I've been, my mental health has been a little bit up and down this summer, if I'm honest. I don't really want to just gloss over this, because a lot of the stress that was contributing to my poor mental health was due to accommodation. So I wanted to live back in halls again this year, but for second and third years at LSE, they don't offer it out until they've offered it to all the first years. And this year, I don't know what had happened, but there was like increased demand from the first years. And so when it was opened up to the second and third years, there were only shared rooms left, and I didn't really want to share again in my final year. So then the option was to wait from June all the way through to A-level results day in August, and then see if there was a potential that any rooms would open up. But I was getting super stressed during this time, because I was just like, I don't really know where I'm living. I can't even envision where I'm going to be in 3 weeks' time. So I decided I was going to live at home this year. I'm really lucky. I live within commutable distance of LSE. It is a bit far. I think it's going to take me about an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes each way every day. So it is going to be a big commitment. But considering how much I was in first and second year, I only had to be in 2 or 3 days a week. This hopefully will work for me and mean that I only go into uni a few days a week. The next question is, could you film a video on your most productive study tips, taking notes or active recall? Yes, I absolutely can film a video on this. If you have any other video ideas, leave them in the comments down below, because I'm now working on what we're going to film this term. Okay, next one is, are you excited for uni to start again? Yes and no. I'm excited to get back into a routine, because obviously you don't really have that during summer, and I flitted from place to place, but I'm certainly not looking forward to the work. I'll be honest, LSE is hard work. I tell you this in every single video, and whilst it is enjoyable at times, there's also times when it's incredibly stressful, and I think, why on earth am I putting myself through this? And I think this is a great time to pause the video and show you my exam results. So this is my second year results. I showed you my first year ones, a year ago, funnily enough. Now is the time to flick back to the little clip I filmed in summer. So it is, oh gosh, what day is it? The 7th of July, and my results have just come out. I'm actually at work at the moment, but I've just managed to sneak away. So, oh, I've got them. Okay, so GY 202. Oh my gosh, I got 72 in my take-home exam. I thought that was going to be lower. I knew these ones, so in 206 and 207, 245 and 246, I already knew them. I got a 68 in my class participation. I've got 100 in my class participation for my urban geography module. I really liked that one, to be fair. And in my German, I've got a 67 in my oral and a 71 in my exam. I've got a first in everything. I was hoping for 2 firsts and 2 2-1s, and I've got a first in everything. And back to this video, I realised that what I was saying in that clip is not going to make a lot of sense to anybody, and actually going through the breakdown will only be relevant to people who do geography at LSE, so I'm not necessarily going to go through all of the different modules I took and the different grades I got and the different parts of it, because it's quite complicated and long and quite boring. So yeah, I was really happy with my exam results this year. I genuinely didn't think they were going to go that well, but it obviously takes the pressure off a little bit for third year. The next one is how to dress for London weather. If I had cracked the code on this one, I would be telling you all of my secrets. I have no idea. I guess my top tip would be to buy a massive winter coat, because I envision this winter being very, very cold. Last winter was quite cold, and this summer was extremely hot. So I think we're getting more and more extreme weather here in the UK. So you'll definitely want a waterproof jacket, and you'll also want a big coat because it gets very cold. The next one is less of a question and more of a statement, but it says, I'm an international student who wants to move to London, and I want to have more details about finances. I have a video planned actually all about how to afford living in London and finances whilst you're at university, so hopefully that will be out in the next couple of weeks if I can get my act together with the editing. The next one is, how has second year been, and what is your favourite part of uni so far? The fact that I can go to university and I also have enough time in my day to be able to document that process is really, really special. And the one that we get in every single one of these videos, every single one of these Q&As is, do you have a boyfriend? No, I do not. I've actually been focusing, and this is the next question, things you want to do differently this year in comparison to your previous year at uni. So I have been training for about 9 months for a triathlon. This is kind of a side note from studying and all the other things I talk. But one thing I want to do differently this year is making sure that when I'm doing things that aren't university, so when I'm not studying, I allow myself to actually throw myself into the other thing and not kind of stress and worry about all of the uni work I have to do, because whether I stress and worry about the fact that I have this uni work to do, it's not going to go away, and actually it means I'll be able to enjoy other things more and take better care of myself and my mental health. I've kept triathlon training largely offline actually. I've been sharing it with my friends and family, but as I say, otherwise it's been completely separate from my YouTube. But on Sunday, the day is finally here. I'm absolutely terrified. I have my first triathlon, so I'm going to film that, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about like training for that and the lead up, because I actually filmed a whole Q&A about triathlon a while back, but I didn't edit it and get it out for you guys. So maybe I'll dig out some of those clips and make a whole last 9-month highlight / lowlight / update video. I don't know. There's lots of plans for the YouTube, but not necessarily a lot of editing going on yet. The next one is, how is your German going, and can you say something in German to showcase your improvements? Ja, ich kann. Mein Deutsch ist ein bisschen besser als bevor, aber ich habe nicht so viel Deutsch dieses Sommer gesprochen. Aber ich habe Deutschland zweimal besucht, aber in der Mitte an der Sommerschule, ich habe nicht so viel Deutsch gesprochen. Also wenn ich zurück nach Universität gehe, hoffentlich könnte ich mehr Deutsch sprechen und üben, and yeah, there we go. So I did my best there. I hopefully have subtitled that for those of you who don't speak German, although arguably those of you who speak German will also need the subtitles given how bad my German still is. The next question is, do you have any plans for after uni, any travels on the horizon? Absolutely, yes. I do intend to do another gap year at the end of university. I don't really want to go straight into full-time work because I've got the rest of my life to do that. So the plans with travel are very vague. There are vague parts of the world that I'd like to visit, but not necessarily specific countries. And I'll just have to have a look on Workaway next year and see what's available and see where I fancy going to work. And with that, that is the end of the video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a little bit of a rambly, waffly one, but it's so nice to be back on YouTube and so nice to be back filming again. I have lots of plans for this term, so make sure if you're not subscribed already that you are subscribing down below. Leave me a comment to let me know what you've been up to this summer, what videos you'd like to see, and I will see you next time with a new video. Bye!